This year has. So far, I might be grateful. But like stock market wise, for me, it sucked. And
Yeah.
probably for everyone too. And for this biotech, which we're analyzing Aquestive Therapeutics, everybody.
Ooh.
And the FDA has kind of lied. They said we're gonna show the CRLs in real time as the company gets it, the public gets it. That's false, unless I don't know how to search for it on their website. And they only have one CRL all year on there. And I know there's been more. So I don't know. They need to step their game up when it comes to these CRLs.
Well, CRL would be for the application. I'd have to look at that, but
yeah, on their website, the open FDA open whatever. It's
I haven't checked out the website.
It's not that great, as you would expect from government agency.
You're not a fan? I heard that they just did some interesting things today with the FTC did a settlement with one of the PBMs. I saw that, so that should be interesting. That should get your PBM stocks down right now. You're a big investor, Dan. From a health tech perspective, I heard all the tech stocks are getting smashed right now.
Smashed today. Yeah, which is a buying opportunity, I think.
Yep.
And crypto's getting smashed.
Yeah,
and
Bitcoin's at 73. Yeah.
So it's
actually you buying more?
Yeah. So we just sold. Chris and I sold a property, and it just closed last week. So I have some funds. It's the timing's right because I'm relatively impulsive.
What is that like, just being rich?
It's not, you should know. I need to ask you, man. You're in your third
adjunct college professor.
Yes, we know. This is your just like Superman as a reporter. That's how you're an adjunct professor. So we got my battery is gonna die. I have 17%. I think it's pretty safe.
Yeah.
Right? It's safer than some of these investments. We're gonna make it through this live stream. But I'm gonna share the screen. Can you see?
Barely. I know that there are some words on there, but I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, let me just not share it. But for people that want to know what I'm looking at, I'm just on Aquestive Therapeutics.
You want to send me a link so I can click on it?
Yeah, let me do that. So I'm going to put in the private chat just so you can follow along.
Well, you might want to also, can you put in a public chat so other people can follow along too?
In the public chat, though, I don't know if people are going to be able to click. But they can, maybe. There we go, everybody. Here you go. And I'll send it to you in the private chat.
Yeah, I can't click on the public one for some reason. That's still the same one. You just use the same chat.
Oh, my bad. There we go.
Okay, I'm pulling it up on the other screen. Aquestive, disclaimer.
And by the way, financial advice.
Are you sure that's the CRL? That's not a CRL.
It's not the real CRL because, like I said, the FDA said they would submit it to the public. They didn't. So all we got is the company's comments on the CRL they received.
Yeah.
But it's good enough. They're not lying to investors. This is a legit company. Not financial advice, not legal advice.
That's right.
And some of the haters of this company were saying I brought on my Better Call Saul attorney. That joke is already that joke is so old. Darshan literally has Better Call Darshan mugs. And I have one. I have two actually.
You do have two.
Handle.
You hoodwinked the hoodwinker. You were like, right. my handle's broken. I was like, I can't have Dan hanging out with a broken handle. So I sent him a second one.
And I drink from the broken handle one because I don't want to mess up the.
So let me ask you this: do you have one for each of your houses?
No, because in the Airbnb, I don't want people using that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's mine. So we got the slides in front of us. Okay, everyone can follow along if they want. On the screen, I'm not gonna mess around with it because it's gonna run out of battery. Human factor deficiencies, man. This is if there's ever been a clean CRL, it's this one.
Why is that?
So no safety concerns, no efficacy concerns. All it was human factor concerns. And they're making them do opening the package. Let's go through the deficiency. If you look on page 4 of the slide, 4 of 11.
Yep.
So the first one is, these are the comments from the FDA. and then on the side it's the company's responses, right? So
Yep.
the results of the human factor validation. So they got the MIPA involved, the Department of Air, whatever, I forgot the acronym.
Sure.
Uh, but they actually were the ones that stopped this and created the CRL. So it was no safety, no efficacy that we're aware of. Participants demonstrated difficulty opening the pouch. So this is like a Listerine strip epinephrine rescue medication. Participants demonstrated difficulty opening the pouch, were unable to open the pouch, or tore the film while opening the pouch, resulting in delays in dose administration, inability to administer a dose. Underdosing raises significant safety concerns. So the Aquestive replied, one pediatric patient was unable to open the current child-resistant pouch out of 166 patients. They're being super picky on this one, man.
No, that's actually normal.
That's normal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the human factors is a big thing. It's getting it's becoming more and more important. A friend of mine actually is a CEO of one of the largest human factor companies.
Talk about it.
Shout out to Kelly Kendall. She's incredible.
Okay.
She was my former CEO. Really, really smart woman. So she leads a human factors company.
Company.
Yeah, she leads a company that does human factor CRO stuff.
Okay.
So she's totally badass. But essentially, it's this kind of stuff to see how usable is this stuff. So, for example, with child protective stuff, I can see this go both ways. So, last time I checked, the bottles we get, the lids, they have to be openable. I forget the exact number and stuff, but it's like 90% of adults and only 20% of kids should be able to open it.
90% of yeah, because this could have gone the other way of like, if it's easy for a child to open, well, now it's too easy.
Exactly.
I brought that up on the last live stream with the influencer for this company, Biotech Scanner. And
wait, the influencer, what does that mean?
He's like the most researched retail investor on this company.
Interesting. So you got to be careful because I'm actually doing a talk on influencers for biotech.
He's not paid. We're not paid. We actually lose money like everyone else. But not financial advice. To me, we'll go through this. But
here's my real question. I'm thinking usability of this product. We're thinking about someone who is choking, really, like for example, an allergy or something. Sublingual makes sense, but can you get the person to really open their mouth?
They've done the study.
I guess you could.
They've done the study. Yeah. They've done 11 studies, PK studies on this. So they had no issues with efficacy or safety.
I'm not arguing safety or efficacy at all. I'm talking usability.
Yeah. Well, they're making them redo a study.
Yeah, but think of it this way, right? So let's say you have a bee sting, and usually anyone else can just take injection and you stab yourself with it, or someone else stabs you with it. What happens in a scenario where the person faints? You can't open this person's mouth anymore, and that's how this product would be used, right?
Why couldn't you open their mouth?
It just feels, I don't know. I don't usually I don't know how I fall asleep or like a person with anaphylaxis goes to sleep, but do they keep are they easy to open their mouth? Like I don't know how many people want to go. Let me open your jaw open.
But you just put it under the tongue, sublingual.
Sure, but that my point is, someone would have to remember to do all of that. Are you putting your finger into someone else's mouth that you've never met?
Well, the alternative is to jab them in the thigh, or
but I'll take that one over kind of.
There's a competitor called ARS Pharma. They do Neffy. It's already approved. It's a nasal spray, epinephrine.
Really? But still, that's external. And again, I'm not giving financial advice. I don't even know how this works at a practical level.
Yeah. But
it's just a weird thing for me to think about. Nasal spray, I think nasal spray is kind of easy. Like you're knocked out, push that in, no big deal. But this one requires you to open it. Now, it might be a very specific use case where this makes more sense than anything else.
Well, they've done an oral allergy syndrome study with people. They would give them mild to moderate. They knew they're allergic to certain fruits. They would give them that in the study, and it actually absorbs faster because of the surface area.
Sure.
Absorb the.
I'm not questioning the efficacy.
You're questioning the usability, the human factors.
Correct.
which is what the MIPA also was concerned about, but they didn't bring that up. Well, let's keep reading. So that's the first one, opening the pouch. The second one is participants placed the film in incorrect locations or chewed the film. The impact, they must have enrolled my dogs because they're big chewers too. The impact of PK on PK and clinical efficacy related to the chewing or incorrect placement of the film, i.e. placing it on the roof or the tongue, is uncertain. So here's their company response. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I like the next guy, actually. I don't like the taste of mint, but if I had to save my life, I'd stick it in there for 10 minutes. That's hilarious.
They used healthy volunteers for this part, right?
And that's my point. Yeah. How does it work if it's not a healthy volunteer? Because at that moment, you're gasping.
So all of these issues were from the human factor, not from the clinical the oral allergy study. So 4 participants noted chewing the film. 3 of the 4 participants were not provided instructions for use. So shame on those sites. And then 19 participants.
Yeah, but who's reading these things?
Well, I mean, like it's important, man.
But I mean, think about it. I know I'm a terrible reader. I never read the instructions on anything.
I know. And Aquestive, since then, redesigned their packaging with an image of where to place it. But the FDA, they said the FDA didn't even look at it yet. They already have the.
I think these should be like QR codes now. And I'm not saying this is right, like for the moment of use, because that's just way too long. But I mean, as someone who wants to learn about it, I can't get myself to read, but I can watch a video on it.
Yeah, Sherry, who's in charge of the, she was the one who kind of helped push EpiPen at the previous company. She's now with Aquestive, so she was talking QR codes as well. But 19 participants misplaced the film on top of the tongue. 11 out of the 19 were not provided instructions, and 1 participant placed the film on the roof of the mouth. Now, even they dosed. Their PKs were within range, even though
I would expect so. I mean, the roof of the mouth, again, it has to be a mucosal membrane. Mm-hmm. So your entire mouth is a mucosal membrane, so that's not a big issue. I mean, it's easier below the tongue, but whatever. Mm-hmm. You also have
another question, a comment was some participants, mainly pediatrics, identified tingling or burning and or taste that would lead them to remove the film prematurely. We noted that human factor study used a placebo with a different formulation compared to the sublingual film that limits interpretation. So they're making them redo a study. Yeah. And then based on this finding, in the human factor study, the high rate of local adverse events reported in the pivotal PK trials, tolerability is a concern.
Here's my question. How do you do safety efficacy studies for these people? Because you're not getting...
no one's done it other than this company as far as making inducing an allergic reaction. This is the only time it's been done is in the Oasis study.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And it had great results. It actually absorbs faster than the competitors and brackets within the same safety range, which is all they had to prove.
No, I don't doubt the efficacy or the safety of it. I'm just... the study part of it, I go informed consent wise. How do you do that? Like one of the examples the FDA gave in one of its, so there's a situation in which it's hard to get informed consent. So you do like mass informed consent. And you say, we're doing this study in your neighborhood. If you come in via the ER, you may be part of this study, or just to let you know up front. I think the example they gave of was blood. Like if you come in needing blood, we might just use this on you, just so you know.
I see. No, this is like a real site, like a phase 1. Think of a phase 1 healthy volunteer, and then when they...
You think it's a healthy volunteer? I mean, it probably is.
In fact, it was, and then when they induced allergies in people with known oral allergies, it's also in a phase 1 setting.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd be safety for phase 1. Why would you do efficacy with phase 1?
Just in case the drug doesn't work, they have to rescue them with a real epi.
Unless no, that's not what it is. I just realized that you don't have to prove safety or efficacy in these patients. You have to choose bioequivalence.
Correct, because this is that 505(b)(2).
Exactly, it's a 505(b)(2). So they're probably going to land up getting 3 years of exclusivity, not 5.
which sucks because they got delayed a year, basically.
No, exclusivity starts when approval starts.
Okay.
That's the advantage of that over patents. The patent
Mm-hmm.
term's running. The exclusivity hasn't started yet.
So their response to that was 4 participants removed the film, 2 due to burning and 2 due to taste. Like, I do not like mint, but if I had to save my life, I would stick it there for 10 minutes. I mean, these are like college kids that need money, but the sites need to educate them better. And I commented on this last time. If I were the sponsor, I would send a CRA to observe the dosing, and I would stop the dosing after I saw the first error and say, listen, you need to re-educate your subjects better. I think this is where the sponsor could have done a better job. Like, it's not unusual to have for just one and done things like surgeries, or I've had monitors observe the dosing or the procedure or whatever. And if it's not done right, okay, you got one that was not done right, but like, let's not have 4 of them do it wrong.
There's an interesting thing this reminds me of. If you're into vaping, one of the things the vaping companies used to do is that they would actually insist that we want to get different flavors to the vapes. And they had like bubble gum and they had all this other stuff. And the FDA came in and said, you can't make this taste like candy. Like, we have a problem with that. So I think that there was the deeming rule and all that good stuff. But the short version of this is, I do not like mint taste. I wonder if they're going to talk about doing different flavors.
I mean, wouldn't that delay it more?
Unless it gives you 3 years of exclusivity again, every single time you do it.
Release flavor packages. They do. The interesting thing is my theory. The FDA had a town hall meeting with Duke in December, and they're pushing the communities, patient advocacy groups are pushing for expanded access of epinephrine, meaning they want over the counter. I think the reason the MIPA got involved, which you typically get involved on devices, they don't have to get involved in this. They did because I think the FDA is looking at this as a potential.
It could be. Yeah, I don't think that the company is going to be a big fan of this going OTC just yet, because they want to make their money back. The moment you go OTC, everyone can follow on.
Of course.
But I can see your argument for sure, saying that they want to do it later on. But if I was the company, I would have done those tests later on then. Said, you know what? I can worry about those components later on. Why do I have to do it right now?
And I'm sure that's what they would have preferred, was approval with post-marketing requirements.
Well, technically, I'd go extension. This would be an extension more than a post-marketing, but yeah.
Anything better than a CRL, but it gives us investors time to buy in again. I'm going to double my position, man. Unless you tell me I'm crazy.
No, nothing about this is striking me as crazy. I love the fact that they're doing something. I don't know if you remember, but going back a few years, I forget which company, but they jacked up the price of epinephrine. And they cornered the market, which is why I think there's been a lot of...
Wasn't it Viatris? Or
was it that one? I thought it was someone else.
The one that makes EpiPen.
Yeah, it was the one that made EpiPen, correct.
That's where Sherry came from there to Aquestive now. She's with Aquestive, leading the sales.
But I don't know if she did the sales, the reimbursement portion of it. That's a different beast altogether.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll send you her LinkedIn. We can.
Sure.
You can send your AI towards her. Dude, how many more live streams until you invest in the AQST?
I don't buy stocks that I don't buy. The only 2 stocks I've bought in health and pharma is Novo and Lilly.
Well, you're getting killed on one and you're doing great on the other.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I think the other one is I might buy Pfizer, because I heard that they just got a really good GLP-1 coming. Because I think GLP-1s are not about the diabetes at all. I'm seeing GLP-1s to be about weight loss. And let's be honest, the US and the world is really into looking good. So anything that has like a double, triple, quadruple mechanism of action and or is muscle sparing is going to be a big hit.
Sure. Not to mention the neurocognitive protection, perhaps.
I haven't seen too many people argue neurocognitive protection is needed so far. It's been a while.
That's coming next. Like, Lilly's gonna do all that stuff.
No, I'm sure. But the question is it really an adverse event we're seeing? Are you seeing in the studies that, not Lilly specifically, I mean in general, with any of the GLP-1s you're working with?
No, they're arguing that it's going to prevent Alzheimer's.
I missed that part. Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that part. Interesting.
Yeah. Uh, okay. We also note there were several use issues with other critical tasks where several
What are you?
participants. Still on slide 4.
Okay.
Where several participants provided subjective feedback that they did not see the instructions / not aware of the instructions. So this is like to your point where you don't read it. Like, I mean, everyone knows Listerine strips. You're not going to read the package. So
No.
they redesigned it now with a picture, but they said the FDA didn't look at their redesigned package, and in the study they didn't use that package. So
Right.
to me, it's a simple fix, but it's a
But how? This is where people start going, how dumb are you? When you have to show someone picking off a film. And can you explain what a film actually is via package? Like via picture?
Right.
I don't know.
And some people, like, maybe they will open it, especially if they're panicked, right? And swallow it or drink it with water as opposed to like let it dissolve under the tongue. So now slide 5.
So I've heard about this exact type of problem, going the wrong direction. So I think they were vaginal suppositories, and this woman kept complaining that her yeast infection was not going away. So they finally asked, like, how are you using it? I swallow it. So she was using.
Wow. So that's a human factor, right? That's a human factor.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, look, you can't. I guess the FDA has to draw a line somewhere, right? And in my theory is they want this to go over the counter at some point, and they want.
That's your theory, but let's work with the assumption that that's not the game they're playing. But I see your logic for sure.
Of course, and that's not why I'm investing in it, anyways. But okay, page 5. The FDA says to resolve these deficiencies, you need to review the human factor study results for all tasks to identify additional potential areas of optimization. Additionally, we acknowledge you implemented post-validation risk controls to address some identified use issues, i.e., incorrect placement of the film. However, based on the criticality of the impacted tasks, the revised user interface and
where are you? Oh, there we go.
Page 5.
Page 5. Okay, hold on.
And additional risk controls should be evaluated for effectiveness. And then they're going to conduct analysis. Then number 2 is implement additional design modifications and user interface revisions. So container closure design, revise
Here's a simple question. If I open the packet and then I realize, it wasn't an allergy, can I close it back up?
That's a good one. Yeah. And I think that's another good. I'm sure the company's thought of it, but maybe not. This is free legal commentary.
Not legal advice.
Not even legal commentary. Just free random musings from Darshan Gupta.
Dudes just hanging out and talking.
Better Call Saul. Dan's Better Call Saul attorney. Dude, the community loved you, but of course the haters are gonna bash. So
that's okay. I love haters.
Yeah, we just call them fans though, like Fetty Wap says. Container closure design. So Aquestive said an alternate opening mechanism is available, has been successfully tested in a human factors study, and will be included in the requested human factors validation study. So you know what's interesting about this company? They have a film, oral film as well, for another rescue med for seizures. And it's the same packaging. And they said the FDA was okay with that one. And it ideally, like, interestingly enough, if you're having a seizure, like, your chances are you're shaking, right? It's like it's gonna be harder to open the package shaking.
Yeah, I can see that.
The FDA didn't have any issues with that, and they've been selling that for, like, I don't know, they've been running these packages for like 10, 15 years. They said they've only had one call to complain about tearing the strip. So they monitor it because they're the manufacturer too. So they thought it was like ticky-tack by the FDA, but whatever. What do you think?
I feel like this is one of those situations where the FDA is going to be more onerous. Because if you bring a brand new product to market, the FDA is like, safety and efficacy. That's what we care about. Bring it out. Let me see.
Hmm.
Now we've got a product on the market. That's the exact same thing. You're saying yours does something different. The only thing you do different is you are a sublingual product. Okay, then you have all the issues that go with a sublingual product in this product category. Let's make sure you do that part right.
Well, easier carrying compliance because it goes on the back of your phone.
Sure.
But they don't
Again,
care.
let's play devil's advocate. If it is easier carrying compliance, which is a good idea, the question then becomes, will it become too easy for someone else to use it?
Hmm.
So how often do we just put the phone down face up and then your kid walks, like imagine Max walking through and seeing your phone accessible. And at some point he's going to start taking the phone and walking around with it. What are the chances he'll just pull something out of it? Those become the real concerns, right?
Right. So you think if they redo these two tests or these two studies, that the FDA could come back with that concern, even though they didn't bring it up this time?
It depends on how they position this product. I don't know what the packaging looks like overall, right?
Yeah, I never seen it. I mean, it's on their website, but it's just now they redesigned it, so I don't know.
Yeah. Hi, Preeti.
But could in theory the FDA bring up new issues?
Theoretically, they could, but that's just bad form at some point. Like you can't keep going back to the same well. Like the FDA's job is to kind of.
It is good to get into it for me too. Thank you, Preeti. Hopefully, you find this interesting. We've never actually dissected a CRL, complete response letter.
Oh, we still haven't.
And we still haven't. This is just the company's slides. When the actual response letter's out, we'll do it again with a full powered battery, a laptop. This is just a bonus.
Full powered laptop.
This is just a bonus episode because we missed
this episode is limited by battery power.
Yes. It's too much AI going on in here, too much Claudebot. But let's go through
I have
more.
a question for people listening in. Are you guys using Claudebot? Do you like it?
Yeah, let us know.
Let us know.
CRL comments, page 6.
Okay.
Instructions for use. Revise the instructions to improve clarity and prominence of the important information related to the correct placement of the film. Revise the IFU. What's that? IFU?
Intention for use.
Okay. To include the following statement under step 3. Use Anafilm even if torn to improve emphasis of this important information. Because they saw that it works even if it's torn. Right?
Well, yeah. No shit, it works.
Okay.
Because think of it this way, right? If you have a strip, and you layer it on top of each other, you press on the strip, some of the liquid's going to come out from the sides.
For those that don't know, Sean's not just an attorney, he's also a pharmacist, but it's also not medical advice.
Correct.
You should not take Listerine strips if you have an anaphylactic shock.
Please don't.
You will have good breath, though.
You will die with good breath.
If you can breathe. Okay. Revise the statement. If symptoms continue or get worse, take a second Anafilm. Repeat steps 1 to 5 to read as follows. If symptoms continue to come back. So this
I find that to be interesting.
Yeah.
Because to me, that would be like a labeling discussion. And I'm surprised
they were in labeling and then
they were in labeling. Okay, got it.
Yeah, so they reviewed all the studies. Everything was good. The MIPA came in. Somebody sent the MIPA because the CEO of this company said the MIPA usually gets involved only with devices. But like they didn't have to.
Typically, that's true. Because I mean, how many ways are there to take a pill?
Right, you swallow it, right?
Exactly.
And then this one's a strip, so they're like, technically not a device, but everything else.
I don't know if there's any other medication that's a sublingual product. Nitroglycerin even is a tablet.
Well, everything this one makes, and like there's a few, but like the Libervant for seizures, right? That's the one. I haven't seen that one.
Okay. They have last time I worked in a pharmacy was about 8 years ago, so we didn't have them at that time.
They have a lawsuit until 2027 when they can sell those, but that's just a competitor is being ticky-tack on that. Okay. Yeah, this company's got a lot of things going against it, but the luck will change at some point. Not financial advice. Then they want to add a bunch of. They want to add a bunch of stuff like improve clarity, emphasize dry hands. I mean, I don't know if you're at the beach and you have an allergic reaction, like you're going to dry your hands. You're just going to take this shit. No?
Yeah, good point. I mean, I'm not sure I'm wasting my time. I guess here's the thing I don't know. It's possible that the product starts releasing the drug if your hands are wet. And let's say your hands are dirty or whatever, or you've got thick skin here, it's not being absorbed. So you're wasting drug before you put it in your mouth.
Yeah. I mean, in theory, if you want to be a dick, if you're the FDA, you can tell them do a study with wet hands, do one with dry hands. You can make them do infinite number of studies. At what point?
What if the guy is cross-eyed? Now do a study where we don't have a dude who's cross-eyed and one who's not.
Yeah. Or what if they're crying? Like, I mean, you can induce like tears.
All kinds of weird shit. But no.
Yeah.
Some level of intelligence is required.
And at what point does the FDA just say this is enough? Like, let's just approve it. It's kind of what the retail investors are wondering. But like I said,
close. I think the fact that you're having this conversation suggests it's more ticky-tack.
Yeah. But I look at it like we have another year to invest in this thing.
No, I think you've got about 6 months.
Really?
What do I know? Yeah, I think so.
Because they're going to have a type A meeting in like this quarter. Then they're going to do the trials. These are easy trials. There's just one dose. And
actually, you're right. I'm wrong. Yeah. But the studies and stuff, you can do these studies very quickly. But
yeah, by the time you analyze all the data, and then there's two trials. They want them to do a human factor trial with the pouch, and then they want them to do another one with something with PK for, I don't know, another PK they wanted them to do.
Yeah.
With the revised instructions. So it's conduct another human factor validation study to demonstrate that the revised user interface supports the safe and effective use. In your human factor validation, include a placebo with the same formulation without the active ingredient. So they will do it, and then they will continue to, and then more on the pharmacology, they want another PK study. If you look on page 9, or page 8, slide 8, to better interpret the PK results under these conditions, they want to do how user error impact the PK. So to address these uncertainties, evaluate PK under 3 conditions. The sublingual film administered with chewing. So one arm, they want them to chew the film.
Yep.
And the second arm administered at alternative sites. So they want them to put them on the roof of the mouth, on the tongue, and then one administered by a professional exactly under the tongue. Dude, this is so ticky. Dude, this thing, it's another
whose job it is to be, I'm a professional. I put
We lost Darshan, right? He's about to clown the FDA. If Darshan gets back. As you guys can see, I think in that financial advice, this is somewhat ticky-tack. We'll wait for Darshan to come back, but let me know if you guys have comments while we're waiting. Darshan is at his beach house. I hear reception is somewhat spotty there, but we're trying to get him to come back on. Preeti, thank you. Hopefully I'll see some of you guys at SOS. And I'm also running out of battery, but I think Darshan, I didn't prep him on this. He's familiar with the company. Darshan's asking if I lost battery. I'm still here. Still here, come back. Come back and make fun of the FDA. We will, once the complete response letter is officially posted to the FDA website, like they said they would, supposedly it's going to be, so the FDA promised that the public will get it at the same time that the company gets it, which apparently is not happening yet. They're still working out their kinks. You were about to make fun of the FDA. Whose job is it to play a healthcare provider? You're mute, Darshan. But I can see from your expressions you find this comical. And it's great artwork behind you too.
Oh, did you know the story about the artwork?
Yes. So what do you think, man? This study.
I just want to know whose job it is to like put shit below someone's tongue. And that's what you announce on your LinkedIn profile. I want to thank everyone for congratulating me on being a professional who puts pills or like Listerine strips underneath someone's tongue.
That will be a study nurse or a study pharmacist. Thank you very much.
I want to be clear, it will not be a study pharmacist because our job is to dispense, not administer.
Okay. Maybe it's even the sub-investigator or the principal investigator that are gonna
PI just hanging out there.
Yeah, and then they watching the other cohorts chewing it on purpose.
See, you know, it'd be even funnier if they do an X-ray live just to see that action.
So, what do you think, as someone who hasn't really studied this company at all, other than what you hear from me? Is this ticky-tack? Is this to be expected?
No, I think it's a good option to have, and I think it's honestly, I think it's more for me proof of concept because I think their platform technology is kind of interesting.
Sure.
The epinephrine's great as a use case, but to me the value is the actual technology. Because you told me they're already using it for a anti-seizure medication.
Yes.
But I can see all kinds of interesting disease states where this would be amazing.
They also partner with Suboxone to do the strip, So
there you go.
This company's manufacturers. They know what they're doing with manufacturing, and they've
been. The issue is not manufacturing. The issue is.
Right. It is interesting how a study can go wrong. Yeah, this is an example. I use it in my other podcast of the site. The sponsor should have seen that first time someone tore the film or spit it out. Don't let anyone else do this. Like, there's only in this study.
But you can. You can't have multiple endpoints like that. You can have primary, secondary endpoints, but this would be too confusing to have an additional entire user set on just human factors.
But that's when you send the CRA to the site and say, listen, let's re-educate you. The patients now, they can't spit it out unless they're really struggling with it, not just because they don't like the taste.
My point is you wouldn't redesign the study. You just do more studies at the same time because you knew that question would come up.
Yes, or re-educate the sites better. Like, listen, you got to pick better subjects, educate the subject beforehand.
No, I think that's the point, that you don't want to better educate a subject. Because the average patient's not going to be better educated. The fact is they're trying to address exactly that problem.
Yeah. But what do you do with that teenager who's like, I just didn't like the taste of mint? Well, now you
can, and that's the point. I mean, I think that's exactly what we're trying to discover at this point. What are all the things that people would fight back about? Oh, I put it in wrong. I didn't pull off the cover. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. Great. Let's now make sure that gets addressed. But you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't use it in the first study itself.
So in fairness to the company and the site, it's not their fault either, according to me.
No, I mean, if I was the company, what I should have seen up front is usability is going to be a big deal because you have a novel use case. I should have planned for that. Not better designed studies, more studies that address these questions.
Okay. Stephanie says sponsors are so hard-headed and think they know it all most times until something tragic happens. Yeah. I guarantee you someone managing the study mentioned it and they didn't listen.
It's easy to say that. I don't know if that's as simple as that. For example, in many cases, you're looking at, you've got investors going, hey, when are you going to file this thing? Because I want to get my money out. And we have the efficacy data. No shit, you have the efficacy data. I want to put it out there. What's going to take? Okay, we have all this data. We showed the efficacy. We showed the safety. We showed the administrability. Great. Can you put it out then? Give me one more quarter. Let me get it out there. And then the FDA comes back and says, no, you don't have this stuff. Shit, back to the drawing board. So I agree that sometimes they're absolutely hard-headed, without a doubt. But I think that there's context to that hard-headedness because they've got other factors to think about. I mean, Dan's here going, I want my money out. I've been here for too long.
Well, that's maybe some other. Yeah, sure. Look, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. I'm going to double my shares. Not financial advice. I could lose it all. It'll be very comical if I lose it all. If they get another CRL because people had sweaty palms or something.
No.
I don't know. Then to me, it's a safe investment, man. Like, I don't know. What? Yeah. And a side news here is the FDA is not putting their CRLs in real time like they said they would. Because I'm on their website right now looking for Aquestive and it's not there.
Well, Brad Bat has not sold a share since 2020. So he's buying another 100,000 shares. So That's $13.15.
Not financial advice.
I don't
No,
know.
it's
I have
only
no idea how much this
$4.
thing
The
goes
share
for.
is $4.
$4, really?
When Jim Cramer mentioned it 3 months ago, it was 7. It was the high.
It's the inverse Kramer.
It's the inverse Kramer. I am the inverse Kramer. Listen, I got to end the live stream because my laptop's going to die. But we're going to do this again with our Sean. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Go follow him right now on LinkedIn. He is also on X, although a little timid with dipping his toe in the water.
No, I'm not a huge fan of X.
Listen,
Convince
man.
me if I'm wrong, but I'm not seeing it yet.
Okay, LinkedIn then. Be on there.
LinkedIn.
Be on Hum, but we love LinkedIn too. Okay, everyone go follow their Sean.
I'm beyond. What's the? I appreciate and I'm beyond humbled by the attention people have given me on LinkedIn.
That's right. Beyond humble. This LinkedIn's favorite copy and paste post. Listen, 4% battery. I gotta talk to Darshan privately. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Preety, thank you. The protocol is not designed by someone who has worked at site level. I agree. I think that's a safe statement of most of these things.
Maybe.
Save our sites.